When we first went public, the purpose of going public was to say polygamy works. I don't think it works in my family anymore.
My kids and I think it's heartbreaking and stupid because we don't understand. And here it is, just another reaffirmation of everything, all the messages we're getting. But we're the outsiders and we're on the other side. We're not. We refuse to be. We don't know what else to do.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Monday, August 28th, 2023, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, instead of doing a full recap of last night's episode, I want to just focus on one part related to Robyn, and then I'll do another video later about some other stuff that happened in the episode, because Robyn's whole storyline was so hysterical, like haha funny, but then we also got some new tea related to what happened in the fallout between Robyn's kids and the rest of the family, and how Robyn was actually instrumental in blowing up the entire family and making things worse than they had ever needed to be. And yeah, later today we'll talk about Kody's weird scene with Aurora. So weird. So let's dive into today's topic of Robyn Brown plays the victim and blows up the family and then pretends like she didn't do it. Before we do, can you please do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed by clicking on the subscribe button down below. Click on the bell so you can get notified of any time I go live or new content loads. If you have something that you'd like to say, make sure to say it and share this video with your friends.
You know, my 3 older kids, when I told them that we were going to be separate for Thanksgiving again, they dealt with feelings of rejection. They dealt with feelings of hurt and heartbreak. The question was asked, why don't they care? And so just reminding them that it's not necessarily personal. Apologizing to them for being the innocent parties in this, that they're getting hurt by this.
After they finished up the whole weird conversation between Kody and Christine, the whole conversation on the show was about Thanksgiving. And we saw Janelle go to her family in North Carolina. She went with Maddie, and Hunter was there, Isabel was there, she brought Savannah. They had their own little family Thanksgiving. And for some reason, Kody filmed locked in a room, and they showed footage from a year before at Thanksgiving when Mary was there. There was no updated footage for 2021 of Thanksgiving. So we never saw Mary come into the house. We never saw them cooking. We never saw any of it at all. Just want to point that out there. The footage they showed was from the year before. You can actually go back and look at season 16 Thanksgiving, wearing the same clothes, exact same angles. It's all the same footage. So for whatever reason, they're not filming their Thanksgiving, okay? And so Robyn is setting the stage that the family not going to Thanksgiving is about them being rejected, about the family rejecting Kody, Robyn, and Robyn's kids. It's not about the fact that Kody had a temper tantrum and screamed and yelled at Janelle, has been cruel to his kids, that the kids don't have a relationship with him because he's neglected them. It's not about how Kody and Christine have split, so of course Christine is not going to be there. It's not about how Kody has verbally abused Janelle and beat her into a position of, unless she acts like Robyn, she won't be accepted. It's not about what Kody's done, it's that they've rejected them. Robyn never puts any of this on Kody, ever. It's always everyone else, because Robyn doesn't see or doesn't want to see the truth. And to me, it's like she's feigning ignorance, because she watches this show. She can see what happens. She has a pattern, according to some of the older kids, like Paedon and Gwendolyn have spoken out about how Robyn always makes her kids feel like they've been victimized and that they're being bullied and picked on. And she plants these ideas in their heads, same way she did with their dad. Like she alienated the kids from their biological father, making them think that he didn't want anything to do with them when he didn't. He wanted things to do with them. But Robyn's the one that puts these ideas into their heads and then just keeps telling them that narrative over and over and over again. The kids believe that they're being rejected, right? But she has to say, well, I have to tell them that they're innocent parties, which isn't, she just said that for the show. And so we then find out after Thanksgiving that it only gets worse because Logan decides he'd like to do a gift exchange with the family members. And this is how Paedon explains what happens.
And Robyn gets involved in the conversation and says, let's do a video chat.
It's hard for the kids to just jump on a call at the drop of a hat. They're not opposed to it, they just want to have it scheduled.
I was pushing for the video chat for the sake of the kids. When I was getting all this pushback, I just finally went, why am I trying here? And I was like, fine, I'm out. You know, this is an effort in futility.
I remember even at one point she said, my kids don't even remember who their siblings are. And Hunter was like, one video call's not going to help that.
The conversation was between adult children and doing a gift exchange with the siblings. And Robyn got in the middle of it and demanded a video call on Zoom with the kids. Does this sound familiar about how she demanded a call with the boys, with Garrison and Gabriel and Kody, and so that they needed to clear things up first? Now she's trying to do the same thing with the kids. And remember how with the boys, Kody never took the initiative? And the kids weren't against it, by the way, at all. They were just honestly not prepared to do that at that moment in time, as they explained. But Robyn is getting in the middle of this. She's literally trying to be the mediator here where there wasn't really a conflict to be had. And instead of just doing a gift exchange and just drawing names, it turned into and devolved into this whole big fight because of Robyn demanding something again of the family that they couldn't accommodate to immediately. And then it triggers all of these hurt feelings. And it's like Robyn is so controlling in every situation that she can't even allow her kids to communicate with their siblings without getting involved. And then she throws things out like they don't remember who their siblings are. Are you kidding me? Aurora went to school with Gwendolyn and graduated with her. She went to school with Gabriel. She went to school with Garrison. She knows who her siblings are. She knows who her older siblings are. She knows who her younger siblings are. Brianna knows them too. Dayton knows them. All three of those kids were children when they came in. They know who their siblings are. Maybe Solomon and Ari haven't seen them a lot lately, but it's the older kids that were involved in this, not the younger kids. And they might not be close to them anymore, but as Hunter had let her know, that one phone call wouldn't change that. But it only gets worse.
And it got blown out of proportion that they didn't want to hang out, and then suddenly no one wanted to hang out, and then all of these hurt feelings about when Robyn first came into the family came out, and it's like, oh my God.
Then it just turned into this whole big, like, kind of squabble between my kids and a bunch of the other kids.
So put it into this context. Robyn created the mess. Kody and Robyn created the mess by putting all these rules in place for all of them to get together. Robyn has been telling her kids for years that everyone hates them. They're being rejected. She's been telling them for years that no one wants to see them. No one's telling them about how Kody's acting. They don't know that Kody's being cruel to them. He's setting up all these obstacles. He's pitting them all together. Like, he's pitting them all against each other because that's how he can maintain control of Robyn and her kids. And Robyn then is fueling the narrative by making her kids feel like they're being rejected by the family members. So they're fighting now about how they don't want to hang out for Thanksgiving. They don't want to hang out for Christmas. Robyn's like created this mess. Robyn and Kody created this mess. They're the ones that made the weird rules for COVID. They're the ones that made all these rules about how they could get back together. They're the ones that every time these people try to make steps forward, they place obstacles in the way. In this case, we're trying to do a gift exchange, and Robyn is again putting an obstacle in the way of we need to do a Zoom call. And then she's only days before telling them that their family members don't want to see them. Kids are working off of bad information. They're working off information that their mom is telling them that no one likes them, making them paranoid. And so it's like Kody and Robyn have created this chaos, created it themselves. It only gets worse because then Robyn comes in and acts like she's been the victim in all of this. So it just sets the stage for Robyn to be the victim.
Some of the things that were said and expressed, I don't know if we ever come back from it.
It was a horrible day.
I think Robyn jumped to conclusions too fast.
It's just another example of them not wanting to be a family with us. It's been like this from the beginning. By the time the whole thing was over with, my older kids, Dayton and Brianna, did not feel comfortable being involved in the gift exchange anymore. My children came away saying, look, what the heck happened?
Robyn always jumps to the worst case scenario about people's intentions with her, and I feel like she does this as a means to control her environment, control her situation, and to control her kids. And if she can convince her children that everyone out there in the world hates them and wants nothing to do with them, then she can control where they go, who they see, and who can influence them. Kody does the same thing with the wives. He pits them against each other so that they can't become wives and become friends and compare notes. He has always had Robyn separated from the rest of the family because he's getting his narcissistic supply from her, because she's always kissing his butt. And as long as he gives her what she wants, like gifts and whatever, she'll just do whatever he wants her to do. She'll give him that supply and adoration, but at the same time, she's also a narcissist. And so she's got to control her children. And so she's fueling it. So he's pitting her against the wives, and then she's pitting the kids against the other kids. And the two of them are creating this mess because the other kids don't really understand what happened, right? They don't know why this is so toxic. They just know that they can't speak to these people. And Kody's like, well, we all wanted to be together on Christmas. But no, you don't. You don't want to be together on Christmas, because if you did, you wouldn't have all of these rules. He only wants people together as long as they worship the ground he walks on and give him feed his ego. If they are not going to do that, he doesn't want to see them. That's how he can control Robyn's kids, by keeping them away from his other family. And that's why they keep putting all these obstacles in the way. And then Robyn can control her older kids from not going back to their dad and not being, influenced to leave her and go off with the other part of the family. It's just sick. And then she is making herself the victim by saying that it's just another example of them rejecting her.
When we first went public, the purpose of going public was to say polygamy works. I don't think it works in my family anymore.
My kids and I think it's heartbreaking and stupid because we don't understand. And here it is, just another reaffirmation of everything, all the messages we're getting. But we're the outsiders and we're on the other side. We're not. We refuse to be. We don't know what else to do.
So Robyn makes this whole situation about herself, about how the family has rejected them, how they don't understand. Why is everyone rejecting me? She has no empathy at all for the fact that this was a family that had 12 children before she ever entered. They had their 13th on the way. They had a system that wasn't perfect. They weren't that functional, but they at least were working together. Robyn came in and the entire dynamic shifted, and it never went back to normal. It never went back to a routine. The kids that were once seeing their father no longer saw their dad, and she has no empathy for that because she doesn't care. All Robyn cares about are her needs getting met. Does she have a house that she needs? Does she have the things that she wants? Was she getting the gifts that she wanted? Does she have the shopping that she can do? Do her kids have the lifestyle that they want? Does she have the fame that she wants? She never has empathy for the fact that those kids lost a father, that those wives lost a husband that was in their lives. He alienated them. He neglected them. All of the money went to Robyn and her kids. They moved around constantly for Robyn. He divorced Mary for Robyn. He adopted Robyn's kids for Robyn. She systematically went through this family and destroyed it by trying to get to the head wife, by speaking for Kody, acting like she was Kody's, the commentator of his life. And she's the one that has manipulated so much of this from happening and then claims that no one likes her. And she's the victim and they didn't want to be a part of her family. When I saw the exact opposite, I saw Christine try to, mend fences with her. I saw Janelle trying to always accommodate them. I even saw the kids going out of their way to try to be reasonable and nice to the kids, and including the kids in things. And Robyn didn't want that. She always kept them at an arm's length because she wants control of her children, because her children are her narcissistic supply. They give her what she needs and the fuel she needs to feel good about herself. She never sees things from other people's perspective. She could leave her last marriage because he was doing things she didn't like. But Christine and Janelle can't leave because there's no reason for them to leave, according to Robyn. It doesn't make sense. She never can see things from other people's point of view because she doesn't know how to empathize with anyone. She's not an empath. She doesn't have empathy for anyone. She only thinks about herself. And she, in this case, is not the victim. It's just really twisted. And it only gets worse.
I don't think Robyn's ever lived plural marriage, honestly. Having a family is hard work.
And here we are, we have a plural family, so it's even harder because of all the different dynamics. My children remember a lot of hurts. I know that they tried very hard to integrate everybody, but maybe there were always cracks. Now it's all blown apart.
All of this comes down to Kody's selfishness because he doesn't know how to manage relationships. He only knows that his ego and his narcissism needs fuel, and he likes the supply of having his butt kissed. And so when there's someone new and fresh that's feeding his ego and kids that are adoring him that don't have baggage with him, that's where he's going to gravitate because he wants the supply. He doesn't want the negativity of people going against him. Kody brought Janelle in without Mary's consent. She didn't know about it. He brought her in and was like, I'm going to marry Janelle. Huge fallout between Mary and Janelle. They never establish a good relationship. Christine's brought in and she sort of balances things out. But then when Robyn's brought in, Mary and Kody have this secret about Robyn for a very long time, and they don't include Janelle or Christine in this decision. And they're betrayed, and then Robyn is kissing him before they get married. He's picking out her wedding dress. They're going on long honeymoons. She's demanding the same amount of time with him before they're married. She was making demands on this family that were unreasonable. And as Christine said, she never lived plural marriage. She was living like she was a monogamist and making monogamous plans and demands on Kody, and Kody just went with it because she was fueling his supply. She was younger, she was thin, she was pretty, she was his arm candy, his trophy wife. And the rest of them had all their kids, they were done having kids, they had baggage. He was done with that. He blames it on them going public. The blame falls on that he added another wife and he went where the supply was. But Robyn is going to, again, make this about being a victim. Forget about the wake that Kody left in the past and all the wreckage and those 13 kids. Forget about them, okay? Because Robyn's the victim here.
When a new wife joins the family, you go through this process of adjusting. There were some people that were willing to make the adjustments and were welcoming, and then there was a lot that weren't.
When Robyn came in the family, the only people who welcomed her warmly was just me and Mary.
McKelty has been talking a lot to Robyn's kids and Robyn, and they just expressed a lot of frustration over when the families blended how they felt. It's all really, unfortunately, more messy than I thought.
The reason why there was only certain people that were good to her and kind to her and welcoming to her were the ones that brought her in, that wanted this to happen. And Mary did this because she finally felt like she found a friend in Robyn, only to have Robyn, within the time that Kody and Robyn start becoming close, Robyn then has used Mary to get to Kody, and then she basically discards Mary, making Mary feel very alone again and very isolated and alienated again, and puts Mary into another level of depression. And they go to counseling. She goes to counseling with Robyn before Robyn gets married to Kody. Meanwhile, Kody is not including Christine or Janelle in this situation at all. He's having McKelty go and take care of Robyn's kids before they're married. He's got nannies for Robyn the whole time they're married. And he's expecting everyone to just accept Robyn after he hadn't discussed it with his other wives. Are you okay with this? Is this going to work? A tenet of plural marriage is that the men are supposed to get the permission of the wives. He had permission of Mary, but he blindsided Christine and Janelle. So what did he expect the outcome to be? He didn't care, though. He never loved Christine, and he never had a romantic relationship with Janelle, and he was getting his pencil dipped and wet. And he liked that, and he was getting the attention he wanted from Robyn. And that's all that mattered to him. And so sure, Robyn's kids might have had some struggles, and sure, it's messy, but it's not about Robyn being the victim. So her hysterics and her crying and her meltdown here is just so typical of her having no empathy or understanding, and no empathy for the family that was left in the wreckage, that was destroyed by her coming into this family. Kody says, we went public, that's why it got ruined. No, Kody. The family is destroyed because you decided, as Christine said, that you had a favorite wife. You got all of your supply from her. You decided that everyone needed to be like her because she was making you feel good about yourself. And then systematically, she took all the resources from your family because she's also a narcissist and played you and you two have been playing each other and playing the family and pitting everyone against each other. So what did you expect? Robyn annihilated the last family she was with her ex-husband, and she's annihilated the Browns, and Kody has annihilated the Browns, and we'll see what happens next. But this was this part of this episode. We're going to go into in a little bit later Kody and Aurora's really strange and creepy relationship and some insider information I've got from people inside the church. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.